Welcome back everyone, Mike McConville here again, Stratford, Ontario, Canada. We have a single cut PRS that we're doing a refret on, so we're going to slip all those frets out. We're going to a higher profile fret. And as always, the Patreon subscribers will get a complete A to Z play-by-play. We also have this 1929 Gibson L5 that's in, and we'll be installing the pick guard on this one. Now, I've already done quite a bit of work on this one. It was a complete refret and all the inlay was replaced. It was all crumbling and falling out, and I made a new foot for that bridge. This is for those of you who follow my channel, you would have saw the video on that. Original pickguard was missing, and we're going to put this retrofit one on for him. And we'll give you the play-by-play, as always. Cheers. Well, John, this is for you. You were asking about the Japanese razor saw, and this is what I use to open up the fret slots. And I got this at the local KW surplus store here in town. If I remember correctly, I think it was $8.95. When you measure the saw, you want to measure across the tooth set. So this is 22.5 thou. Absolutely perfect for fretwork. I kind of hit that on the disc sander really lightly and kind of put that negative cant on there. And the reason I did that is so that I can drop into the fret slot. The Japanese saws are beautiful because they cut on the pull stroke. So this fingerboard is actually bound. We have to tee out the frets, and I'll kind of show you that as we go. Cutting on the pull stroke like that, it allows me to drop in right tight to the binding and then pull back and make sure that we get these slots cleaned out right to the very edge so that the frets seat perfectly. All I did was just lightly go over this board. There were a couple of spots up here that needed to be corrected. Of course, I adjusted the truss rod first to get the lay of the neck perfect. So I checked this all the way across with the straight edge, and it is perfect. So we've got adjustability left in the truss rod, lay of the neck is perfect. Now we put our frets in. So that's the undercut on the original frets. So we'll leave pretty well close to twice that amount to begin with when we put the new frets in. Okay, what I've got here is I've got a chunk of ultra-high molecular density plastic that I've obviously just clamped to the upper platform of the TechDeck. I don't normally do this. I'm really doing this for you guys, for the camera. So bring you to the next stage now on these frets. 5 strokes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've gone along the length of that neck, and you can hear, see how I move obliquely? I'm actually keeping the file in line with the string path and moving obliquely across the neck to sort of check it for straightness. And that does not get any straighter than that. So we did correct the high spot here. There was a high spot here as well. But we corrected that when we had the frets out. New frets are in. We barely grazed over them. So now we're ready to buff and polish. And this is why you take that opportunity when the frets are out to correct the fingerboard. Get the fingerboard perfect. Then when the new frets go in, well, they don't need much. So when the customer goes to inspect your fret job, he's going to see perfection along that edge. So you've got a Tone Pro bridge on here. But if you look closely at the A, see how I move that and it kind of slops around? Well, same with the low E. See how it's kind of moving? You want it to lock in to its designated notch. I want to illustrate this. I purposely left that string out of its notch. You need to move that over until it clicks in. Did you hear that? This one too. There we go. That one's in. That one's in. Okay, now we tune the guitar. Here's our final wrap up. We've got the Buffalo Tusk, all new frets. We corrected the fingerboard, and then all of the sort of re-engineering we did on that bridge to get that to behave itself. It's now perfectly in tune. Let's go plug it in and have a listen. I'll mix it up a little bit and do something in F minor to C minor 9. Just sort of back and forth between F minor 9 and C minor 9. And then, so the turnaround is just 2 G diminished chord inversions. then back to the F minor. So the second string I play the note G, the 8th fret.